Steven,
Hmm.
is this the upgrade we wanted?
What?
You know what?
What are you talking about? Taco Bell getting rid of the quesarito and upgrading to the Chicken Club Chalupa again? Are you talking about Burger King getting rid of the Whopper commercial and upgrading to the chicken sandwich commercial, but keeping the slogan? Are we talking about?
Hold on, wait. Go back. No one's getting rid of the Whopper commercial.
Well, it seems like they have. And watching the Warriors game right now with the Suns, where they're just absolutely destroying them, but they had it. And there was no Whopper commercial. I'm sure it's going to come back though. Or I'm sure it's still around.
They didn't sing the song?
No, they didn't sing the Whopper song.
Just saw this shit yesterday.
Did you?
Yeah.
Maybe it's just my dreams that I want it to be that way. Oh my goodness.
They're also having white people singing now, which, come on. It's a little
don't work.
off-key. Yeah.
Don't work. Nope. You do not want the people without rhythm.
Welcome, everybody. Just Your Opinion, man. Stephen Langford, Derek Papa. You know exactly what I'm talking about, Stephen. The fuckery has begun. The free agency fuckery. It's one of my favorite times of the year. And believe it or not, Stephen, I've done this for the first time in being a Twitter user. Can't believe I'm saying this. I've turned on my notifications for all of the insiders.
As you should.
It's so annoying.
It is, but at the same time, you get the news right there, and you also know that it's not going to be fake, and you're not going to get fooled by anything else except for what the notifications say. Although
that is true.
It is funny when you see them like misspell something and you immediately catch it, or like they say something just totally out of turn.
You mean like David Carr?
Yes, exactly, and they immediately delete it. So there is a little sense of that there, but yeah, it's good for you, man.
Well, I kind of did get the sense of how Ernie knows we're always posting stuff. Ernie says I don't have notifications on. I don't believe you, Ernie. You know exactly when we're going to start. You know exactly when we're sending out tweets. Or you're just a loyal fan in that regard, but kind of hard to believe.
I'll say this, though. We both work in sports media. I'd recommend to any producer or radio person to have their Twitter notifications turned on. But if you're not involved in it, I'd recommend not having them turned on because your phone flashes every 2 seconds. It's kind of annoying, but got to get the news.
Yeah, I just it's kind of annoying. But as soon as the fuckery dies down, I'm getting rid of that shit. But it was helpful today for all the movement. And we'll talk about all the moves. The ones that happened, the ones we're still waiting on. I'm gonna get out of the way with Aaron Rodgers. So Trey Wingo tweeted out earlier today that it's a done deal. He's going to the Jets. And then I am watching in the background of all the free agency shows on NFL Network, and Ian Rappaport is like, I haven't heard anything. The Jets haven't heard anything. They've had to heard something by this point. I honestly think, and I could be crazy here, Rodgers wants to set it up for his boy McAfee to get the scoop tomorrow. That's what I think, because usually he does the show on Tuesday. So he's going to tell him ahead of time, and he'll break the story tomorrow, probably like a second before Schefter or Rappaport gets it, and then Rodgers will go on McAfee's show to promote the news.
You are 100% right, because Rodgers says himself, like, I don't want anyone else speaking for me. It has to come from me. So why would – and, I mean, of course, Trey Wingo is very plugged in, and not to – get on him at all, because he is normally correct with these things, and he probably was. But, I'm sure Rodgers got to the people of NFL Network and ESPN and essentially saying, hey, we don't want to make this announcement for the deal. I'm sure it's true. Whatever, like the stuff that's coming out about Trey Wingo right now, it's like, why would they blame him now? It's not like a John Heyman situation where he got the scoop completely wrong. I think he just mistimed it. And
no, I believe him. I think he's got a source with the Jets. Yeah. Why else would he know that he was the first one to say that he was meeting with the Jets last week?
Yep.
So I do believe Trey Wingo, and I do believe this shit will go down tomorrow. But goddamn, just get it over with.
It's just me being reactionary to the thing, because I'm like looking, doing a little perusal of the internet before we hop on here, and I'm seeing, like the memes pop up about Trey Wingo and how Jets fans are reacting to Trey Wingo, and some of them are really funny. I'm thinking to myself, but he didn't necessarily get it wrong.
No, it's just not timed out the way he wants it to. It's not official until, none of this shit's official until Wednesday.
Yeah.
No one thinks it's official until Rap Sheet or Schefter report it.
Right.
And I don't know. From the video I saw with Aaron Rodgers and Brandon Marshall, sounds like he doesn't want anybody to know anything. He's going to control when he puts it out there. Good job of Brandon Marshall to go, to the source and try to get the information, but he wasn't biting.
No, you just said, "Oh, what did he say?" He said, what did he say? I'm blanking on what he said. He had like the
Aaron. What are we doing? We going to Bushwick? We going to Brooklyn?
What we doing, Aaron? What we doing?
And then Aaron smartly goes like, "You're going to be one of the greatest Jets of all time." And he was like, "And no." Brandon Marshall goes, "Well, I have a lot of pull with the Jets." And then Aaron, in a smart way to get deflect off of him, talks about Brandon Marshall and goes, "You were a Jet? I don't even remember you as a Jet." Well done by Rodgers, I have to say. All right, let's get to it, Steven. Derek Carr gets released from the Raiders the Tuesday after Super Bowl, and we're all expecting the Raiders to make an upgrade at quarterback. The rumors back when he was benched those last 2 games was Tom Brady. Tom Brady retires. Then plan B, or, what fans are expecting is you got to make another splash, so they think Aaron Rodgers is part of the equation, and that is not the case anymore. And Jimmy Garoppolo was always discussed as a possibility, especially with Josh McDaniels, knowing him very well from the past. And I wasn't surprised today. So, all in all, the Raiders, it's so crazy to me. All those years when Derek Carr was playing for the Raiders and Jimmy Garoppolo was playing for the Niners, it was always a debate in the Bay Area, who's better, Jimmy Garoppolo or Derek Carr.
Yep.
And now the Raiders themselves believe that Jimmy Garoppolo is better than Derek Carr. They sign Jimmy Garoppolo to a 3-year, $67 million deal. $34 million are guaranteed. So Jimmy Garoppolo is officially a Las Vegas Raider, and this ends his tenure, a tumultuous tenure with the 49ers. Fans loved him. Fans hated him. And now he's going to be wearing silver and black next year. And I was expecting this move to happen, especially earlier in the morning when we get the report that Jarrett Stidham is leaving the Raiders to go be the backup to Russell Wilson. And you got to figure at that point, all right, I see where this is going. And I'll get to the move and everything, but Steven, your reaction to Jimmy Garoppolo becoming a Raider?
Well, you asked me if there's an upgrade, and the answer is flat out, I don't know. I don't know what type of Jimmy G we're getting. I don't know what he's going to look like. I don't know what the future is for him. I just don't. Because if you would have asked me before, like earlier on when we were having those conversations about who'd you take, Jimmy G, Derek Carr, we were having those since like the dawn of time, it feels like. But it's really since like 2018.
Yeah, the dawn of time, or 2017.
Yeah, 2017, 2018. And I was normally on the side of Derek Carr. But last year when Jimmy was playing really well for the Niners, that's something that it just seems to get lost with everyone when Purdy took over. It's not like Purdy was taking over for a quarterback like Trey Lance. Like, no, they won even before he'd gotten there and all that. But you asked me if it's an upgrade. I don't know. The writing was kind of on the wall though for this to happen, especially after Brady retired. Mm-hmm. Like me and, obviously, me and Spadoni and there's always 3 people that text me anytime something with the Raiders happens. It's a variation of you, Spadoni, and then my brother.
Mm-hmm.
And I looked back and there was a text I sent to Spadoni in November. I'm like, I have a weird feeling that Jimmy's going to be on the Raiders. I just feel like it's going to happen. The McDaniels relationship, the pairing and all that. In the end, if the contract was higher, then I'd be a little more questionable about it. But right now they got a placeholder at your starting quarterback for a bargain price. But that's also the other question. Is he the placeholder? What are they going to do in the draft? I think my judgment is reserved for draft day. and what they're going to do there. Kind of like what we were saying last year, Derek, or last podcast, whenever the Panthers do, like, it's not based on what they're going to do this year, whoever they draft, if they traded too much in order to acquire the number 1 pick. It's based on how they build their team around him. Where in this case for the Raiders, you just got to wait for the draft and see if they actually draft a quarterback. Because if not, then it could be spelling out to be a disaster.
That's the thing, is this has to be followed up with another move. Jimmy Garoppolo, while he is a serviceable quarterback, cannot be your future franchise quarterback.
Right.
If I'm going to take my unbiased opinion out of this, it's a solid move. And I'm just being, unbiased. It's a solid move. It's, Josh McDaniels is familiar with Jimmy Garoppolo. I have no doubts that he can run the offense better than Derek Carr because he just knows it better. So I don't worry about that. What I do worry about is him not delivering the ball the way that Davante Adams wants him to deliver the ball. And I don't know, you probably don't have it ready, Stephen, but early in the day, Davante Adams posted something. And sorry, I don't mean to spur this on you, but if you have it ready, I'd love to pull it up.
How dare you?
I know, sorry, I should have said that beforehand. Jeez,
Derek, you jerk. Hang on one second.
No, I mean, but I'll talk while you fish for it. Jimmy, when he got to the Niners, everyone, here's Davante's comment. If we haven't talked in the last 3 weeks, don't hit me about this shit. Thanks. So I don't know if that's like a ringing endorsement for Jimmy Garoppolo. Probably not. And I'm wondering if he's upset because the Raiders never took his opinion into account. By all indications, it sounds like Davante Adams wanted Aaron Rodgers to be the quarterback for the Raiders. You ask everybody from Darren Waller and Josh Jacobs to Damian Lillard, everybody wanted Aaron Rodgers to be on the Raiders. And does not look like that's going to happen. Definitely not after today. So now they ride with Jimmy Garoppolo. And yeah, when he got to the Niners, I thought he was fine. I thought he was actually a pretty good quarterback. But never did I think that he could sling the ball down the field like Derek Carr can. And I understand that Derek Carr was wildly inaccurate at times and turnover prone. Jimmy Garoppolo has the fear of making the wrong play, even though he does it from time to time. He also gets injured a lot. Jimmy Garoppolo is a fine quarterback, but he's more Alex Smith to me than what we need with the Raiders. What we need. Oh, God.
Dude, I'm telling you, you can try to escape it all you want. You can try.
Well,
you can try.
Let me now go now to 2018 Oakland Raider fan Derek Papa.
Okay.
that was my unbiased opinion. You want my biased opinion? You all right?
Yeah, like just Draymond. I just looked up and Draymond had this block that just knocked the dude past the hoop. What the hell was that? That was crazy. Anyway, sorry.
I like Draymond blocking shots better than going for threes at the end of regulation. We'll talk about that later. My biased opinion? I fucking hate this. You know why? Because anyone that knows me from the 95-7 The Game days, Jimmy Garoppolo annoyed the crap out of me. Not him personally. I think he's a fine guy. And he's a good old Italian boy making, nice gabagool sandwiches for his Nona. But the talk of him annoys the crap out of me. And when he came to the Niners, it kind of was the death of the Oakland Raiders. And I know today, like I was talking to some people at KMBR, they're like, the Raiders were never popular in the Bay Area. I get that. But there was a time in 2016 where the Raiders were a good team. They were 12-4, and they were doing a lot better than the Niners were when they were going through their shit with Chip Kelly. Then the Raiders decide they're going to move to Vegas. And everybody's wondering if there's going to be the same amount of attention or fans going to care or not. And it was tough because the team did not do well that season. I think it was also tough because the Niners got a huge star in Jimmy Garoppolo. And that bothered the crap out of me. Because it's no secret at this point. 95-7 The Game wanted us to talk more Niners. They told us to stop talking Raiders. And that pissed me off. And I was angry about it all the time. It's no secret. It's out. People know about it. And it just annoyed me. So I had to fight back. And that was my way of making fun of Jimmy Garoppolo all I could. I made fun of him of going to the VD clinic. Remember when he was with the porn star? I made fun of that. I was going to make fun of him any chance I got because I was pissed off that he was pretty much pushing the Raiders out of the Bay Area. Not him personally, but the talk of him. And I'll be completely honest. When my father talks about Jimmy Garoppolo, it annoys the crap out of me. It really does. Because he's good, but he's not that good in the way that Greg talks about him. So that's my biased opinion. But I think he'll do fine as the stopgap quarterback for the Raiders. But then again, as we showed earlier, I am worried about Davante Adams being frustrated with this guy because I'm sure Davante Adams feels kind of fooled. He came to the Raiders to play with Jimmy Garoppolo. I'm sorry, not Jimmy Garoppolo, Derek Carr. And Derek Carr's not there anymore. And he, wanted to have his old quarterback, Aaron Rodgers, and he's not getting him. So now he has to go with what Josh McDaniels wants in Jimmy Garoppolo. And I'm sure that's going to frustrate him until hopefully the new guy that they draft at number 3, hopefully, takes over. And it's interesting to me, like I'm sure Jimmy was told this is, the way we're going to do things again. It's kind of the same situation with Trey Lance. You're going to be the guy until you're not the guy. So we'll see how long he holds the job for, but I do fully expect the Raiders to draft a quarterback, whether it's 7 or they need to trade up or whatnot.
Right. No, I do wonder with Davante about. I mean, you're right that it's Carr has the better arm, and I'm glad you were, you're being very vulnerable, Derek. I appreciate that.
It's the fucking truth.
Admitting
in the words of Kendrick Perkins, I'm spitting the facts. Yeah,
there'd be certain days where you knew it was like, how do I put this? You knew on certain days when it was just don't talk to Derek day. Just let him do his thing and let him get into the show. And once he gets to the show, he'll calm down a little bit. But there were some times during the pre-show where we're sitting in the studio. It's like, yeah, don't even mess with Derek right now. He is not one to be trifled with.
It's like goddamn Jimmy Garoppolo propaganda.
You do your little walk down the hallway, just pissed. Anyway,
you have so many stories. The day he got the contract. Come on, this is the day we're supposed to talk. Montana, Steve Young, Jimmy Garoppolo. Fuck out of here. Anyway.
Yeah, you weren't a fan of that.
Was not a fan of that.
But I do think that what Davante will like as far as an upgrade over Carr is not necessarily the arm, and I'm not saying upgrade. He's an upgrade in pieces, and one is going to be the upgrade that Jarrett Stidham was over Carr, which was no confusion at the line of scrimmage. A guy who understands everything that McDaniels wants to do, knows the verbiage that he likes to use, the words, like the way that, all the guys were talking about Stidham. I hadn't heard him talk about Carr that way. Carr was just a great leader who, definitely could make any throw possible. But I also think Carr kind of suffered from that same thing. You mentioned Jimmy. You were talking about Jimmy being sometimes scared to throw interceptions, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, Carr can definitely fall into that category too. So
no, you're right. You're right.
So there are certain upgrades you could find in little spots. Overall, Carr is probably the more talented quarterback and more durable. Like the best, hate saying, but the best ability is availability, or as my man Lowe used to say, availability is everything. And even though it was, he was trying to go for the other saying there. That's always love that guy. But I think that it's all wait and see. And also, I also need to wait and see what they do in free agency too, before I judge this, because they currently have, I think, 20 million left in cap space. The only other signing they made today, the big signing that they made, was Marcus Epps, the safety, which I'm not going to sit here and act like I understand the safety on the Eagles. I wasn't paying attention to them on the defense. I was paying attention to the Hassan Reddick and their entire cornerback group, not necessarily the safeties on that team. But unless they make some sort of big signing with the rest of this 20 million and actually use that money up, because what you were also doing with Carr was you were trying to save yourself some cap space and give yourself a little breathing room this offseason. If they don't use that, then you're kind of thinking, well, what's the point here? So it's all a wait and see thing. I think for the deal that they got for him, it's going to be great. Although Jesse texted this to me, and I agree with her. Silver and black, not a very good look for Garoppolo. He needs to be in more like vibrant colors. He looks good in the red and gold. You know, the Patriots colors, the blue, the silver helmets, all that looks great. Silver and black, I don't know if how good Jimmy's going to look in it. I'm just saying.
It's going to bring out the gray in his hair a little bit more now.
The best looking guy in the NFL. I don't think he's going to look very good.
Well, I mean, he'll have a good time in Vegas with, a bunch of porn stars there.
Nah, come on, man. He's going to go and, check out the shows, see a little, Cirque du Soleil and, the Blue Man Group. The Blue Man Group's still in Vegas?
I'm sure, yeah.
I'm sure the Blue Man Group are still there. Adele, I think she has a residency. I'm sure Garoppolo's going to be spotted there. He's going to have a great time with all the...
My guy, who's the old Vegas dude that read the...
Wayne Newton.
Wayne Newton. Diddly departum. Dude. From Mississippi.
I watched Vegas Vacation the other day. More so as like a movie.
Papa Giorgio.
Papa Giorgio. You're Papa Giorgio. You're from Yuma, Arizona. So good. It's a terrible movie, but it's great.
Yeah, it doesn't hold up as the other ones, the original Vacation and Christmas Vacation. But actually never seen European Vacation.
I'm not even a big fan of the vacation movies. I think they're all overrated in their own way, but Christmas Vacation, it feels like it's kind of a staple for the holiday.
Melikaliki Laka.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, Steven, the other shoe has to drop for me to love this move. They need the real quarterback, and I'm hoping they get it. Also, part of me though wonders. All right, Jimmy Garoppolo. So how much cap space they have left? 20 million.
Yeah.
So maybe this wouldn't have worked out, but you see Jalen Ramsey get traded to the Dolphins for a 3rd-round pick and Hunter Long. Who?
Yeah.
He's a backup tight end.
He caught 1 reception in his whole career.
And that was just purely a cap dump. They could have easily just released him, and he could have go signed with the Dolphins. You think to yourself, could the Raiders have gone in on that? I mean, 3rd-round pick, they could have gone for a 2nd maybe.
Yeah, but Jalen had a choice of where he wanted to go. And
no, he did. I mean, yeah.
Wanted to go back to Florida. So that I don't. Of course, any team would be willing to trade a 3rd-round pick and the backup tight end in order to get him. But I don't think he wanted to go to Las Vegas. Nope.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you on that one. So Jimmy Garoppolo with the Raiders, and we'll see what they do during the draft. I think it's going to be very interesting to see if they stay at number 7 now that the Panthers have acquired the 1st overall pick. Speaking of the Panthers, their old quarterback, Sam Darnold, not going back. He's going to go be the 49ers quarterback. He signs a 1-year deal with the 49ers today. That one shocked me. And especially because, given Brock Purdy's surgery, we'll see what happens with that, but he may not start the season on time. And they got Trey Lance. They got 2 young quarterbacks. And then they got Sam Darnold. And any QB that they were going to bring in to be that 3rd guy, I thought was not going to be a big name. And I was very surprised by Sam Darnold, especially because Sam Darnold has been talked about with Kyle Shanahan for a long time. He likes Sam Darnold. Going back to the draft, if he had a pick back then, he would have taken Sam Darnold. Before Trey Lance was traded or was drafted by the Niners, by all the picks they obtained, the Niners were talking about getting Sam Darnold instead of Jimmy Garoppolo. Jimmy Garoppolo leaves the 49ers today, and you got to think about what his perception is with the 49ers. Everybody loved him initially, and then everybody hated him because he overthrew Emmanuel Sanders in that Super Bowl, and he just never could, find that love again because fans just hated him after that. But I think that the Niners found their next Jimmy Garoppolo today. I think that, initially my thought was, well, I wonder if Sam Darnold's even going to make the team, because you have to believe that he's just going to be there in training camp and look good for preseason games and then probably get traded to be the backup for another team. Then Matt Mayoko came on with us today on Tolbert Copes and said he does not expect Sam Darnold to contend for anything, just to be the 3rd-string quarterback. Love Matt. I beg to differ. I honestly think, like I said before with Brock Purdy, Kyle likes certain quarterbacks. I think he likes Brock Purdy, and I think Sam Darnold is very similar to Brock Purdy in a way. So this is what I'm going to say. I'm not going to make any bold statements. Sam Darnold could very well be on a different team when it's time to actually play football. But I wouldn't be the least bit surprised if Sam Darnold has a better grasp on this offense than Trey Lance does, and it puts an exorbitant amount of pressure on Trey Lance to the point where Kyle is comfortable with Brock Purdy and Sam Darnold, and then Kyle goes to Rand Carthon and says, "How much for Trey?"
God, there's a lot that hinges on that. That's you just said you're not going to make a bold prediction and you bold statement. You just made a bold statement.
I'm entitled to do whatever I want, Stephen.
The hell, like you're good. It's okay if you preface something by saying this is totally a biased opinion. This is how my biased self looks at it. Okay, that's fine. But to say I'm not going to make a bold statement, then go on to make a bold statement.
Yeah, I did kind of contradict myself there.
You could. It's okay. Just say you're going to make a bold statement, and that's fine. I
don't know if it's that bold.
That is bold, and if that happens by circumstance, then you don't have to do like a single punishment for the rest of time on this show if we ever start doing them again. Like that's
shit. That reminds me. I need to get the coffee and mayonnaise.
It's okay. We'll love us.
A weekend show. I need time to figure out how do I order coffee from a real place.
Well, or you can just get a banana and eat it with the peel.
Oh God, you're mad.
I'm just saying. I mean, what
is that the alternative?
Yeah,
because I do have bananas.
Yeah, if you have a banana, just eat it with the peel.
All right, we may revisit that for next show.
You can. I'll give you this. You can cut off the edge.
Hurt though.
Get over it. Brush your teeth.
No, the doctor, and it's like a Jackass where they have like the X-ray. You have a toy car. It's like they have like a whole banana peel in my rectum.
Well, I mean, it's food, and bananas are a tropical fruit, Derek. You can eat them with the peel fully on. It's all good.
I'm going to consort a doctor before I do this.
You can it's Dr. Craig Bindi. Can he?
Craig Bindi.
Can he tell you how?
He's more of an eye doctor, but sure.
Right. Okay. I'm sure he could help. But he can cut off the edges of the banana if this indeed comes true.
Go back to your Sam Darnold point.
Well, no, my point is like, man, that would take a lot for that to happen. I don't know if Sam Darnold's going to be that guy. I don't know what type of quarterback he is, dude. Like that's another one where everyone just has this predetermined thought about Sam Darnold. Oh, he's seeing ghosts guy. Oh, he's failed top 5 draft pick from the Jets, went to the Panthers. It didn't do anything with the Panthers. I didn't watch a single game with the Panthers in totality. So I saw highlights, but I never watched like an actual game. So I don't know what Darnold's like. My guess is that unlike Brock Purdy, I don't think he'd be able to go up against this 49ers defense in practice and then look like he has total command of the offense and not look like he's seeing ghosts. You know, I don't know what he's going to look like when it comes to training camp. If he gets to that point, then maybe I could try and entertain what you're throwing out there, because what you're throwing out there may be realistic. And as we're seeing right now, Jimmy Ward, Hassan Ridgeway, Garoppolo had interest from the Texans. A lot of these older, coaches or older hires from the Niners, they are poaching from this San Francisco team. So I think it's, to be honest, to me, it's a non-starter. Like, it's just, I think they're just adding Darnold because he was available. Shanahan really likes him. And if all goes south with Trey, like Trey would have to do something drastic in order to lose his job, because right now it's his to lose. And well, maybe if Purdy comes back, then, that maybe they'll have a competition there, but I don't think this is any other move other than just, hey, let's add a third quarterback and make sure we're not in a situation like we were last year. And if one of them gets hurt, we have a little bit of insurance. That's all it is to me.
I hear you. That very well could be the case, but I wouldn't be surprised either. Because like I said, I don't think Kyle was on board to get Trey Lance to begin with. So I think this is a make or break season for Trey Lance regardless.
No, that's you're not wrong on that. And what was the deal for Darnold? I actually didn't even look up.
1 year. I don't know if we have the actual money amount.
Right. Okay. Agreed to a 1-year deal. So it's a 1-year deal. Maybe this is make or break for Trey Lance. Then it's just
I think so. I think they don't want to have they could easily go into the season with 3 quarterbacks. Now they got to change the rule and everything, but I don't know. I think there will be some stiff competition for the quarterback position this year, and I think that Kyle Shanahan would not be afraid to be make the James Wiseman move. You know, if if the Giants are looking to trade Joey Bart, it's the same kind of thing of when is enough enough? We tried it, it didn't work out. He's not going to do well for us.
Mm. And I'll say this too. I've seen Darnold make some damn good throws.
I have too.
Like this dude, he can. I've seen him roll to his left, throw across his body, and hit Braxton Berrios on a line. Like
Braxton Berrios.
Braxton Berrios. He can throw the ball. He's got some talent, but I really don't know what to think of this whole deal.
And to go back to Sam Darnold with the Jets, where he was drafted initially, I don't know if this was, public knowledge or anything, but from what I was told, was that Robert Saleh and Mike LaFleur were in favor of keeping Sam Darnold and trading down in that draft, not trading away Sam Darnold to the Panthers. Joe Douglas was the one that's wanted to move on. And Mike LaFleur comes from Kyle Shanahan's offense. So I think that Sam Darnold could be very, it could be very interesting with Kyle Shanahan. I think Kyle Shanahan has wanted this guy for a long time. And now that he's got him, and he's kind of similar to Brock Purdy, it puts a lot of pressure on Trey.
Yeah. No, it's going to be a lot for him to deal with, man. Like last year, what I kind of liked about Trey in training camp was that, at least before Jimmy joined the team, was that, it's Trey, it's Brock Purdy, it's Nate Sudfeld. He knows this is his team. Now you got a little pressure here. You got a little pressure knowing that Purdy's right behind you, and Purdy just led them to an NFC championship. That debate right now, I think a majority of the people who are really loud about Trey Lance and in the Brock Purdy Trey Lance competition and that little discussion war, I think that a lot of the people who are on Trey Lance's side are the loudest, whereas the quieter ones are more on Brock Purdy's side, because I think to some people it's like a no-brainer. It's like this dude just won 6 straight games his rookie season with this roster and led them to an NFC championship. And his players are out there talking like they would have won the NFC championship if he were healthy. I think for some, it's a no-brainer. So, but now Trey is going into this with the circumstances are different. You're right. This is going to be something for him where it's going to test him. That's what it was for Wiseman. Wiseman did not pass that test. He was supposed to be the premier big man that was supposed to just set screens, roll to the basket, rebound, play a little defense, but he couldn't do what the Warriors wanted him to do. If Trey can't do what the Niners want him to do, which is simply manage the game and, get the ball out accurately and don't throw any don't turn the ball over, then all right, we'll keep you. But if not, you might have to make some moves. This is
who indeed, Steven. And that was my reaction when I saw the notification today that Javon Hargrave is signing with the 49ers on a, 4-year deal, $80 million, $40 million guaranteed. And I saw it at first, and I was like, is that a typo with the Niners? No, they're signing him. Wow. And that was my first reaction. Second reaction was Javon Kinlaw's gone. That's what I think. I think they probably go with Eric Armstead over him. Javon Kinlaw hasn't done much. Kind of a bust, and there's the replacement of DeForest Buckner. I think that means it's the end of Javon Kinlaw with the Niners. I think this is a great move. This guy at defensive tackle a year ago had 11 sacks, led to that Eagles defensive line that had 72 sacks. Kind of was, the guy in the middle that helped out Fletcher Cox and Hassan Reddick. So him next to Nick Bosa is going to make this defensive line all that much more crazy. Like, they got Bosa now, they got Armstead, they got him. We'll see if they sign back Ebukon, or they could just roll with Drake Jackson. But I think he, on that defensive line, makes them probably the best in football right now.
You're basically getting the 2019 defense again. You're getting a guy who's basically replacing DeVorest Buckner, which is what you're getting with Hargrave alongside Bosa. You still have Armstead. And then on the opposite end, I don't know who's going to take over, but that doesn't matter. The Niners, what they did, like, I thought they were just, I didn't even think defensive line was going to be a possibility. I was like, nah, they're good. They're good. They're fine. They don't have the cap space. They're fine. But they just continue to beef things up. And it doesn't seem like there are any players except for maybe Kinlaw who are getting the short end of the stick here. I'm not going to act like I know what's going to happen with the future and all these salaries and all that, but yeah, the writing's on the wall for Kinlaw. He's probably gone. Like, he wasn't the replacement that they thought he would be for Buckner, so they went out and signed a 30-year-old instead. But now you got the defensive line, who is just as a team, they did not have that many sacks last year. They were not, like, as a team overall, I mean, Bosa was the leader, but other than that, they did not have a lot of guys who, kind of like the defensive line for the Eagles. They didn't have like 3 double-digit sack guys, So you got that. You got Mooney Ward on one side. On the other, probably going to go with Diamador Lenore. I don't know what's going to happen with Mosley, if they re-sign Mosley or not, because they got him. He's restricted. I don't know what's going to happen with Mosley if this signing kind of puts things in flux with him. Talanoa Hufanga to Sean Gibson. I think they still need to re-sign Azeez Al-Shaair, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
But Fred Warner.
He's probably going to the Texans, from what I heard.
So you got Fred Warner. You got Dre Greenlaw. Like, this defense is going to be stacked.
Man. Oh, yeah. I mean, it was stacked a season ago.
There's no other way around it. Like, this defense, I wouldn't be surprised. Stafford's like, I'm done. I'm gone.
Why is everybody saying that? Stafford's coming back.
Done. Don't want to face him twice a year. Done. Kyler Murray, request a trade. Done.
All right. Now you're just going radio guy.
I wouldn't be surprised if they all request. What do you mean I'm going radio guy? Mr. Bold statement. Trey Lance is probably going to be traded because Sam Darnold got signed as a third-string quarterback.
Do you not know how Kyle Shanahan feels about Sam Darnold?
I do. Yeah, going back to 2017. I get it.
I'm just telling you.
Do you know how these quarterbacks feel about facing the 49ers defense?
Oh, they hate it, but I don't think anyone's retiring over it.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Okay.
Bye.
Mr. Outcast. I actually like that shirt.
Thanks, man.
Is that from the ATL Aliens?
No, it's some random.
Yeah, it's from the. Oh, it's that cover, but it looks like more new school.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not necessarily an ATL Alien shirt, but thanks, man.
Yeah, it's a good shirt. I'm glad you brought up DeForest Buckner because I thought a good point was made today by Mike Silver, who said essentially this is the contract that they could have given DeForest Buckner back in 2020. When they traded him to the Colts, they didn't want to give him the contract. Instead, they gave Eric Armstead the contract, and ever since then, they've been trying to find the next DeForest Buckner. DeForest Buckner, I believe, is 2 years younger than Javon Hargrave. So, in a way, it's a good move, but also it's kind of like the Niners being like, we kind of fucked up getting rid of Buckner.
Yeah, yet they're still remain the top-ranked defense, which is why, like, just what John Lynch has done, what this regime has done to build this defense, it's unbelievable. It really is.
Yeah. So are you still watching the Wars?
Yeah, something interesting. Don DiVincenzo got hurt, but then he's fine by the looks of it. Got elbowed by Booker. And
they're a different team at home. We'll talk about them a little bit here before I wrap up with football.
Yeah, I have one little thing with Draymond here. He is a crucial game. He better not get attacked. Anyway, continue.
Oh yeah, he's one away from getting suspended.
Mm-hmm.
Just some quick things that happened today that we can go over a little bit. Mike McGlinchey goes to the Broncos, 5 years, $87 million. Thought he was gonna go with the Bears. It sounded like he was gonna go to Bears, and then the Broncos swooped in, and now he gets to go to Mile High, and he's gonna be on that offensive line. I think the Broncos also got Ben Powers today, guard from the Baltimore Ravens. So Sean Payton trying to protect Russell Wilson a little bit better. They also signed defensive end Zach Allen, who was part of the Arizona Cardinals a season ago. Other moves that were made today. Tremaine Edmonds, middle linebacker for the Buffalo Bills, is going to the Chicago Bears. Jesse Bates, who was a safety for the Cincinnati Bengals, is going to go to the Atlanta Falcons now. And this one, I think, is kind of telling of where the future holds with Aaron Rodgers. Mike White, who filled in for Zach Wilson, is going to go to the Miami Dolphins to back up Tua Tagovailoa. Some other moves are made today. Eric Kendricks goes to the L.A. Chargers. Draymond Jones, who was with a defensive tackle for the Broncos a season ago, going to go to the Seahawks. And then Patrick Peterson, this was interesting, going to go to the Pittsburgh Steelers. So still going to play well into his 30s.
So, what's funny is I'd probably say
one more. Jimmy Ward signing with the Texans.
There you go. The Bears and Broncos made some of the more notable additions, but with the Broncos, I don't know what to think with Russell Wilson. And it seems like the Bears are they're heading in the right, they're on the right track. And I think McGlinchey, the problem was he was great at run blocking, but not a great pass blocker. I don't know how great he's going to be for the Broncos. He might have made the wrong move in going to Denver as opposed to Chicago. But you know who the real winners are in all this? This news I saw earlier, and it's the fact that the Chargers are trying to put in a rule where in the playoffs, if a wild card team has 4 more wins than a team within the division or a team that's won their division, so say a team goes 8-9 or whatever, if they have 4 more wins than that team that's won the division, then they get to be ranked higher than that team in the division. So the wild card team basically gets a favor if they're better. That's basically admitting, hey, the Chiefs are going to be damn good over the next few years. We're probably not going to have a shot at the top spot. They're probably going to be right up there at number 1. We're not going to have the division, and we're going to be ranked lower, even though we get 11 wins on a season, and we're going to be ranked lower than the not the New York Giants. We're going to be ranked lower than, I don't know, the Pittsburgh Steelers who win the AFC North. I think the Chiefs, just with all this, and if the move with Laramie Tunsil happens where they make the trade happen after the whole Orlando Brown thing, that'd be unbelievable. But
I don't know if they are because they signed Juwan Taylor today, who's
right.
the left tackle for the Jaguars.
That's right. So that's good enough. But I'm like, the Chiefs, they come out the real winners here because they just had a team in their division say, hey, we know that this other team's going to be really good for the next few years. We think we're going to be so too. Can you please make this rule and tweak it so that just in case we don't win the division, we can be ranked higher in the playoffs, please?
Well, that's a little bold of the Chargers to believe that they would have home field advantage in any playoff game they would have.
It's just my God, the amount of respect that they get.
Well, not only that, but I'm sure that's how they felt about going to Jacksonville, where the Chargers, I believe, went 11-6 or 10-7, and the Jaguars were 9-8, and they had Jacksonville for that game on the East Coast. So I get it; they're complaining about that. They're also in a little bit of a pickle with Austin Eckler, who wants a new deal or to be traded. Now, that's a guy I don't think they can mess around with. I don't know if they have the money to pay him right now either, but you can't lose that guy. Can't lose Austin Eckler.
No, he led the league in touchdowns, if I'm not mistaken. Total
last
touchdowns.
2 seasons, I want to say.
You can't let go of that guy. He's invaluable, especially when he's on the field. These last couple of years, he's managed to stay on the field. So, yeah, that one's a little more. That one was surprising. I did not expect that one.
That's probably. I mean, I know a lot happened today, but that's probably it. NFL news wise. Anything else you could think of that came over the Twitter sphere today?
Well, nothing notable. It's just
everything. Sorry, go ahead.
Everything that you mentioned. There's really not much in terms of free agency. I don't know that's pretty much it. I mean, there's not really anything else.
I mean, I would admit that while free agency is always fun, this free agency class is not the best as in previous seasons. I think a lot of it is contingent on a lot of the big names being traded. Like yesterday, we got Jalen Ramsey going to the Dolphins, so that one's done. We're waiting on Aaron Rodgers. Soon, in the next couple days here, we're going to see DeAndre Hopkins go to a new team. Could see Mike Evans be traded. Could see Derrick Henry be traded. I think moves will still be made. There's a lot of guys that are still going to get cut. We talked about Dalvin Cook being a possibility as well. I think, Aaron Rodgers has kind of held the whole free agency process hostage too, because I'm sure a lot of guys are waiting to see what happens with him. Like, Odell looked great in his workout. He looks a little more muscular too, and coming off of 2 ACLs, HGH. But anyway,
yeah, he better look that way if he's going to be making fun of fat people on an airplane.
That's true. That's very true.
You know what I mean? Like you got a reputation to uphold if you're the dude calling out some poor portly man
yeah, I know.
and just got really angry that he fell asleep.
Shouldn't Odell watch The Whale and learn something? Speaking of which, we'll talk about my man Brendan Fraser a little later. But yeah, Aaron Rodgers, I think, is kind of holding free agency hostage a little bit too with whatever he's planning, and I'm assuming it's going to be done tomorrow. But who the hell knows? I don't know. But yeah, I am waiting on other moves to be made, some trades. Baker Mayfield, yeah, Aaron brought it up. Baker Mayfield could be signing with the Bucks. That's a rumor that's going out there. So we shall see about what else happens.
That just proves your point, though. Like these guys, Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold, they're the quarterbacks of yesteryear. Like them being signed, it doesn't matter anymore. They're backups. That's what they are now.
No, but if Baker signs with the Bucks, I think he's the starter.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah. Kyle Trask is not getting reps over him right now.
Hey, man, you don't know that.
Maybe. Let's talk about a little basketball. So the Warriors game's going on right now, and it's at halftime, and the Warriors are up 75-58.
Yeah.
And this is how they roll at Chase Center. I am, thoroughly impressed with them, the way they play at Chase. They're having a great game right now. I want to say Klay Thompson's got 33 points in the first half.
Yeah.
Well, he's going to score 40 or possibly 50 tonight. And then their great game against the Bucks on Saturday night. It was so much fun. Great game. Steph Curry making Mike Breen do the bang thing. Draymond Green getting that 3-point shot at the end of the regulation. Steve Kerr didn't give a definitive answer if he called that play, but it was the open look, and if he went in, it went in. And Draymond was talking about how he would go full Sam Cassell celebration if he, that ball went in. But it was a fun game, and the Warriors played well, and they beat the Giannis-less Bucks. And if the Warriors hang on to this lead against the Phoenix Suns right now, they beat the Phoenix Suns at home against a Suns team that doesn't have Kevin Durant at the moment. So I'm not taking anything away. It's just that they've been, very impressive and arguably the two best teams in each conference. However, to me, this doesn't mean shit until they start winning games on the road.
Well, you're right there. And you say Giannis-less Bucks. Well, tonight they're not only a KD-less Phoenix Suns team, but because of the KD trade, they're also without Mikal Bridges, who was the Steph stopper. And I know Clay is the one that's going off right now, but a lot of attention is being paid to Steph, and a lot of double teams are going through Steph, and a lot of gravity, all that sort of stuff that you talk about. I think Mikal Bridges, him being able to go one-on-one, kind of gives the defense a little room to actually go guard other players as opposed to just Steph. And I think that's why Clay is getting a lot of open looks right now. So we can't forget that either.
Nope. But like I said, man, what's this from Aaron Rodgers? Hold on. He's tweeted 36 minutes ago.
Do you have his notifications on?
No, but it just popped up on my thing. SULLLLL. Crying emojis, laughing. Is he's doing some Kyler Murray shit now, or he's cryptic tweets? I don't know what the fuck this means.
Where is it? So
yeah, what is that?
So I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. I'm not gonna try to read into that.
Soul. Summer of Soul?
Never seen it.
I'm not even going to try.
Soul Plane.
Sully from Monsters, Inc. is my favorite movie character. Crying emoji. I don't know.
Good attempt. Good attempt.
Thanks, Derek.
But yeah, let's see what the Warriors do when they start having their road trip. I actually want to see what their road trip is actually like real quick here. So they play the Suns tonight, and then after tonight, they will head to
LA to take on the Clippers, and the Hawks, and the Grizzlies, and the Rockets, then the Mavs.
So we'll be on Wednesday, and we'll be on during the Warriors-Clippers game. But what do you want to see in their road trip? Do you want to see 3 wins? Do you want to go 5 wins, 4 wins? What would be satisfactory to you?
Satisfactory would be 3 wins in that 5-game road trip.
Yeah.
Satisfactory would be 3. I don't know what's going to happen with the Clippers, but it doesn't look like the Grizzlies are going to be with Ja Morant anymore. And if you get a win, at least for the foreseeable future, since he's seeking counsel in Florida. So Ja Morant probably not going to be with Memphis. You got to beat them there. You got to beat that Rockets team in Houston. And, between the Clippers, Hawks, and the Mavs, the Mavs and the Clippers are damn near like must wins. If you can gain a game on those guys just by 1 win in the standings. So I need 3 out of 5 if I'm going to be satisfied with this road trip and feeling good about like them being locked into a playoff spot toward the end here.
No, I want to see 3 wins. I want to see them take care of business. I want them to beat the Memphis Grizzlies without Ja Morant, because it sounds like he's not coming back this season. Sounds like it's whatever is going on with him. He's going to a I don't know the exact term for it, but Woj tweeted out. Actually, let me get the right thing, so I'm getting it right. I thought I had it. Ja Morant has entered a counseling program in Florida and remains there, no timetable for his return to active play. So I think that's telling. I don't know if we'll see Andrew Wiggins either, whatever he's going through right now. I think Steve Kerr talked about it candidly the other night where, if he comes back, great. If not, we got to move on. Not to say like we're moving on from him because we're frustrated with him. It's just like, he's got more important things to worry about.
Right.
So I would love to see the Warriors take care of business on the road against the Grizzlies, against the Hawks, and against the Rockets. If they lose to the Clippers or Mavericks, I understand those are good teams in the West.
Yep.
Should we talk some pop culture catch up?
Oh, do we do a little pop culture catch up? Pop culture catch up.
Yeah, I'm going fast for you tonight, Stephen. It was a quick out for an hour-long podcast tonight.
Yes.
All right. Did you watch The Last of Us, the last episode?
I did not. I haven't watched the last 2.
Ooh. Okay. Try to catch up, because I have a question for you with the season finale.
Okay.
And then we got I got my mom's Apple Plus account signed up, so I will be watching the 3rd season of Ted Lasso when it comes out on Wednesday.
Don't sound too excited, Derek.
I caved. I'm interested to see what happens with him and who was it, Nate?
Yeah.
Nate. You know what? People hate on Nate. Nate did the necessary things as a coach, where Ted Lasso's afraid to do things, except for bringing back Jamie Tart, yeah.
Jamie Tart, do. Jamie Tart, do.
So I am gonna watch that. But I'm that just showed us also, like, infuriates me in the sense that, like, that's not just how real life works. But I understand it's trying to be sunshines and lollipops, and I wish it was like that.
It's a TV show, Derek.
I know.
What do you think?
But it angers me when sports movies or TV shows just don't work in reality.
So you don't like any sports movie or TV show because all of them are totally not based on reality.
I hated Friday Night Lights, the show. Movie was good.
Okay.
It was more realistic.
Okay. What about Rudy?
Rudy was an asshole, actually. So they got that wrong.
Angels in the outfield.
There's no real angels.
Rookie of the year.
Yeah, a kid that young wouldn't play.
Major League. Kind of realistic.
That's actually realistic.
Yeah, it's pretty realistic, except nobody's dropping down a bunt to win the game as an old catcher. That's not happening.
Well, if you're Gabe Kapler,
yeah. Maybe. Okay. All right. Fair enough. But Ted
yeah.
Lasso.
You ever seen North Dallas 40?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Most realistic football movie.
Yeah.
You think it's a business, but we think it's a game. But Tuzak, baby, great acting.
Oh, Matuzak. So you don't think everything everywhere all at once is a good movie?
Okay, watched the Oscars last night. I know
Mhm.
I kind of went into it. I gotta. I'll be completely honest with Steven. I gotta open my mind a little bit more because going into the Oscars, I thought, oh, this is gonna suck. They're they're doing we're doing every category. It's going to be cheesy. They're going to be afraid to be funny. Jimmy Kimmel did a great job. He did a fantastic job. Um, a lot of Chris Rock and Will Smith references, but they were actually very appropriate and very well done.
Mm-hmm.
The ceremony was fine. It went on long, and they did they cut off people way too quick. But I guess that's what's going to happen when you do every single category.
Go ahead.
The hell was that?
My Siri on my Mac just turned on out of nowhere, and I don't know why. Then it.
Your Siri then goes go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know. That may be beyond my abilities at the moment.
Now you can hear me.
Okay, so you cut off when you said it was a great ceremony, and then I didn't hear anything.
Well, I'm just afraid I'm going to echo. Oh, now I am.
What?
Not anymore. I was echoing through your thing.
Oh, my bad.
Oh, you're all good. That was a good ceremony. They, it went on for very long, but you and I were texting about this. Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah.
Love her. She's fun in most movies I've seen with her. Go way back to her teaching us to eat more fiber. Does a great job in those commercials. You ever seen those Fiber Plus with Jamie Lee Curtis?
Yes.
She wants everybody to poop. But I saw everywhere. What is it? Everything, everywhere, all at once.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was a very well made movie. I have no problems with it. It was just a little too weird for me. But was it deserving of all the Oscars? Yeah, I think so. But Jamie Lee Curtis, though, I got to be honest, not a very Oscar-worthy performance, in my opinion.
She wasn't even the best supporting actress in her own movie.
Yeah, you brought that up, and a lot of people thought Angela Bassett was kind of robbed for, Wakanda Forever. I think that was a classic. Jamie Lee, you've had a great career. We're giving you an Oscar for your whole anthology and your filmography, and this one movie is not going to be because of that. Like the same thing with DiCaprio winning for The Revenant. Was it his best work? No, but they just gave it to him because eventually the guy's got to win.
Yep. But the same could be said for Angela Bassett. So but Jamie Lee Curtis, we know how Hollywood works. They are much in favor of people like her, especially those who have had a father who kind of was helped shape the golden age of Hollywood.
Wow.
Yeah. Shout out to Some Like It Hot.
Never seen it.
Nepotism. You've never seen Some Like It Hot?
No, with Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah.
Hold on, you're calling Jamie Lee Curtis, as the kids say these days, a nepo baby?
No, I'm not saying she got into the industry, and I'm not saying that. But the reason she won this is because they finally, it's like you just said, they finally had the one movie where they could give her an award, and they did it. They did it even though she wasn't the best supporting actress in her own movie.
Yeah, but
Who was better.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I just I mean, she should have got the Oscar for best supporting hot dog fingers.
Yes.
But yeah, I'm with you. It was I don't know if she deserved it, but also like I'm not mad at that. I like Jamie Lee Curtis.
The musical performances from David Byrne and the other person, not good. That was
that was kind of weird.
That was terrible. And then I like the juxtaposition of Lady Gaga and Rihanna, where Lady Gaga clearly made an effort to not be Lady Gaga and have some sort of exotic, super out there outfit, and instead just elected to go with like the black t-shirt and ripped jeans and just like have it be about the music. And then Rihanna Like, does Rihanna just? And I'm gonna steal this joke from Jesse. Sorry, Jesse, but does Rihanna just like not go on like a regular stage anymore? Is she only? It's only floating stages, and that's it from here on out. Like, no more after the Super Bowl. Nope. You have a regular stage. Nope. It's going to be lifted into the air. No more. No more staying on the ground for Rihanna. No more. None of this conventional stage. If this doesn't float in the air, I'm not doing the show.
Well, I mean, when you're her, wouldn't you? I would make that demand.
Lift me up. Actually, that would make sense since she's
it's the name of the song. I was going to say,
since she's being lifted up. That makes a lot of sense. But no one was holding Lady Gaga's hand. She kept on asking somebody to hold her hand.
Yeah, I mean that was a better song than the. What was the one for? What's the one she did with Bradley Cooper?
Oh, the the Star is Born one.
Yeah, that song. That song's a little much.
I'm just picturing now, like, what if David Byrne would have come out in the hot dog fingers and just started holding Lady Gaga's hand in the middle of that performance? That would have been great.
That would have been interesting.
Fraser, Derek.
Hold on, I want to give kudos to. I feel bad calling him Short Round because that's not his real name. What's the name of this actor that won?
Ke Huy Quan.
There you go. Happy for him because we all know him as Short Round in Indiana Jones, The Temple of Doom, and then he went to do The Goonies and Encino Man. And God, I mean, like, you know, he's 50 years old now, plus, and you know, being a child actor and then being forgotten and now getting that award must have been awesome.
Yeah, it was pretty. Just seeing this whole run for him has been great. Going back to his Golden Globe speech and his Oscar speech. Oh, get your heart, man.
Oh yeah.
And then the Harrison Ford thing.
Yeah, God, that was such a fucking magical moment. Of course, Harrison Ford is there to present Best Picture, and Indiana Jones and Short Round are reunited. But you cracked me up when you said, "I don't think Harrison Ford knows who he is." just hugging a random guy.
No, that was quickly debunked because the full video, like the Oscars, like, I'll say this, the directing staff, the TV crew, the broadcast crew, ultimate fail not having a wide shot when Short Round was going up there. They only cut to the last bit of it. That was like the most, outside of Brendan Fraser winning Best Actor, that was like the most heartwarming moment of the whole thing. It's like seeing these two guys. That was what everyone was talking about, and you couldn't even get a damn shot on it. The only one was like a cell phone from the crowd, which actually showed the real reaction, and Harrison Ford was super happy to see him. TMZ, by the way, I don't know if you saw it earlier, they reported that Harrison Ford rushed the stage to give him a hug, as opposed to being the presenter of the award. That's how they worded
Rush the stage like Will Smith, who's going to slap a Short Round.
They said,
"Get off my stage."
Harrison Ford rushed it. That's what they said. Rush the stage to go give him a hug. Yeah.
Harrison Ford isn't rushing for shit anymore.
No, he's not. It's like they think, yeah, man, that, I don't know if that would be as bad as like that wouldn't be as bad as the Will Smith thing, but if he really would have rushed the stage, make it all about yourself. Come on.
Well, he wanted to give his buddy a hug.
I know. We'll give him a hug after. You know?
Yeah, but they've been through a lot together.
Have they?
Yeah, survived Kalima.
No, it was like 50
Kalima.
That was like 40 years ago.
So you go through the Temple of Doom so people don't forget.
What if they would have like had, I don't know, Ke Huy Quan like punch into Harrison Ford's chest and bring out a heart and then just show it to the whole crowd. Thunk, thunk.
Well, all it took was some fire to get, you know, Indiana Jones back on his side.
Ah, that's true.
I'm sorry, Short Round. I'm sorry for slapping you earlier. And then who was the actress that won for Everything Everywhere All at Once?
Michelle Yeoh?
Yeah, good for her too.
Yeah.
Yo.
My mom kind of put me onto the history of her. She'd been doing this for a very long time. Her first movie was with like Bruce Lee, and she'd been doing her own stunts since she was like 16 or 17 years old.
Yeah.
You know, when she said like, don't ever let anyone tell you you're past your prime. Clearly someone told her she was past her prime. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah. All right. Brendan Fraser.
Uh-huh.
Also, is it Fraser? Because that's the way people are saying it. I've always known it's Brendan Fraser.
It's always Fraser to me. I don't care what anybody says. You can call it Fraser, call it what you.
So if it's Tyrod Taylor, you change it. But if it's the actual pronunciation of Brendan Fraser.
Well, he hasn't said anything definitively on an HBO show where he said, "Hey, everyone's pronouncing my name wrong the whole time." It's like Robbie Anderson. I'm gonna call him Chosen now.
Are you? Because that's the dumbest name I've ever heard.
Hey, he's chosen.
No, in the words of Knocked Up, you weren't chosen for a reason.
Continue.
I'm more chosen than you, Robbie. Brendan Fraser. I was shocked actually. I was expecting Austin Butler to get that award because usually when you play a historical figure and you nail the accent and the way that they walk and talk and sing the songs, that's usually a slam dunk for an Oscar. And I was surprised that they gave it to Brendan Fraser. Haven't seen The Whale. I know there's a lot of controversy with it, but come on. How many people are you going to find to play a 600-pound person? And they also won Best Hair and Makeup, so they must be doing something right. Regardless, Brendan Fraser wins the award, and you could tell he was kind of nervous and a lot of whale references. The acceptance speech was weird. I give him that. But also, the guy's been dealing with a lot of bullshit in his career. I know Brendan Fraser as the dude who, God, like part of my childhood, from Encino Man to Airheads to George of the Jungle, which I still watch to this day. I think it's a fucking hilarious movie. It's so goofy, right up my alley. The Mummy, even Bedazzled, Monkey Bone. Not the best movies. Right. Dudley Do-Right. Not the best movies, but movies that we grew up on. And then he went away for a long time. And if you know the details of it, it's fucked up. Some weird person that runs the Hollywood Foreign Press, Golden Globes, lack of a better term, wanted to fuck him. And Brendan Fraser did not want to be a part of that. And then he was ostracized from the Hollywood community because he didn't go with the flow. And he was vocal about it, and he lost opportunities to act. And it hasn't been up until getting The Whale that he's come back in the good graces of Hollywood again. And it's kind of sad because I know a lot of actors and actresses deal with that shit, and it's an ultimate comeback story. So happy for him. You could tell, though, in his acceptance speech, he was... I hope that he goes back to being a goofy guy because I want to see him do like a comedy and be a fun guy again because I've heard him in interviews now. I heard him in a Smartless interview he did. He just seems not the same guy he used to be. He said he went through a lot of depression, so he seems a little on edge and, kind of nervous. I hope one day I hope last night even, that gave him enough happiness and he's going back to being the old Brendan Fraser that he used to be.
I don't know if that's gonna happen again. Man, getting the old Brendan Fraser and also immersing yourself in a role like that. I haven't seen the movie, but I've seen the clips of it. I'm like, I don't know if I can see that movie, but
yeah, it seems like a lot.
It's the type of thing that changes you, for sure. And I don't know that I did think that the puns were a little much.
Yeah.
It was like Wedding Crashers in The Wedding, when when he's like, I want you to be my first mate.
Yeah.
I want you to be my captain. That kind of thing. It's that was a little too much. I threw the line out they threw a line at me. I caught it and they reeled me in hook, line, and sinker. And it was a
little much. It was a little much.
It was, but very heartwarming. And the reason I called him Darth Fraser to you was because of his breathing. It sounded like Darth Vader when he was giving the speech.
Yeah, he is a bigger guy.
He was breathing when he was up. Well, he was nervous, and I don't blame him for that. But it was just like Darth Fraser. It feels like it fits right now.
Yeah, like I said, he's a little nervous, and he's not the same confident guy he used to be. But I hope he is, because God, I was so happy. It's just like, seeing like someone you haven't seen in a long time. It's just like, oh man, he got success again. Awesome.
Yeah.
Good for you, George.
Dude, I was looking up to. I love how Kimmel, like, basically outside of Will Smith, the guy he made fun of a lot was James Cameron. I love how he made fun of James Cameron. The way that he put it for Tom Cruise, I thought that joke was hilarious. Where he said, what did he say? He's like, these two guys wanted to get you back into the theater, and they're not showing up at the theater.
Yeah.
And I thought that was hilarious. But I was looking back, dude, on when Avatar was last nominated, and like the best that year, 2010, you had The Hurt Locker, you had Avatar, you had Inglorious Bastards.
Mm-hmm.
I'm forgetting what else, but you had some good stuff on there, and it's like
Jason Reitman, Up in the Air.
Up in the Air was up there. Yes, Up in the Air was up. Mm-hmm. And I think Up actually.
Oh yeah, you're probably right.
No, Up was up for Best Picture. That's when they had like 10 Best Picture nominations. Oh, that's right. That's when Precious came out.
Precious.
So it was Lee Daniels, Quentin Tarantino, James Cameron, Catherine Bigelow for The Hurt Locker, and Jason Reitman for Up in the Air. There's not going to be an Oscars that tops that one. Sorry.
You think so?
Ugh. Unbelievable.
All right.
I'm probably wrong. There's probably one that has topped it already.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't.
One thing I realized, though, last night watching the Oscars, whoever scheduled that along with the Knicks-Lakers game in L.A., good Lord, traffic must have been terrible.
Oof. Whatever. Yeah. Make these actors wait in traffic. They deserve it.
Well, what about just the people that live in L.A.? They're trying to get home, like my old roommate.
Yeah, well, they're living in L.A.
Good point. All right, Steven. I think that's it for tonight. We'll be back on Wednesday to see what else goes on with the fuckery. Any expectations the next 2 days?
Expectation.
By the time we do the next podcast, is Aaron Rodgers on the Jets?
Aaron Rodgers will be on the Jets. I think maybe another trade will go down with one of those running backs. I think the Raiders are going to sign a linebacker. I think the 49ers are going to attempt to re-sign Emmanuel Mosley, but we'll see what they offer him with the restricted free agent tag because they technically have the rights to him still. Anything else I'm expecting? Oh, and I expect Team USA to make it through in the World Baseball Classic, as they should. But feel bad for the guy. They went up against this dude from Canada today. He was like a single-A pitcher. Brutal.
Who they got next? I know they lost to Mexico, then they beat Great Britain.
They have Colombia after this. They have Canada right now. They're up 12-1, and then they have Colombia.
Oh, they're up 12-1 right now?
Yeah.
What inning?
Yeah, the 5th.
Like those odds.
Yep.
All right, everybody. Enjoy the rest of the Warrior game. The lead got cut down to 10, so let's see if they still pull this out. Until the next time, Steven, say what you always say.
It's just our opinion. Man, George of the Jungle. Oh!